So these are my sales from eBay, just to show you this method actually does work. eBay dropshipping is dead. Only kidding, it's fine. In this video, we're going to look at the recent dropshipping policy implemented by eBay and why my solutions work. Welcome to Passive Income University, where we look to learn strategies to grow your business and then to put them out in the world to start earning today. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing below and hit that notification button. So we're going to look at eBay's recent dropshipping policy, where they have stated that they no longer allow dropshipping to happen from retailers or marketplaces, talking about you there, Amazon, and how it's no longer allowed. So we're going to look at some solutions that I've already been implementing in my business. Now, firstly, one of the strategies that have always been implemented when people hear the word dropshipping is selling from the Amazon marketplace onto eBay. Now, whenever I get asked about dropshipping, it's always about Amazon to eBay. Now, yes, this is a strategy that does exist, but it's not a strategy that I actually use myself. Mine is completely different. Let's get one thing clear. eBay have never liked the fact that Amazon products have been sent direct to their customers. Now, the introduction of this policy can actually be a good thing. Imagine this. If you've got all this competition and you are drop shipping, if you implement or you adapt to new strategies in your business, that will actually give you a competitive edge. Now I'm going to show you what I've been doing and it works. So these are my sales from eBay, just to show you this method actually does work. Now what this method actually is two things. First, is actually creating a relationship with wholesalers. Now this may seem daunting at first because you might actually be thinking, if I actually contact these companies, they will just outright say no, that they don't actually support this model. But that's fine. Your job is to actually get to as many companies as you can, and they might all not be on generic websites. The best way to find these companies is if you actually type in wholesale and then maybe the category that you're actually looking for, rather than just blatantly typing wholesalers on Google. Little tip, if you don't want to contact these suppliers yourself, then get a VA from like onlinejobs.ph. Now I've done this myself on many occasions, and you do actually get some wholesalers that will just say to you, sorry, we don't allow the eBay platform to be used, or even Amazon. And then you actually get the one or two that actually haven't heard of this model and they're happy to work with you, or they will just say, yes, we do that. And they might even give you special exclusivity, or just basically saying, sure, that the listing is fully optimized and the customers know what they're receiving. So quick example is I used a supplier 2 years ago who had over 20,000 products. They actually usually charge to give you this Excel file that has all these thousands of products on there, and then they allow you to sell them. Now, I made a deal with them to say, look, if I put all these 20,000 on, I will maintain a relationship with you, but I don't want to pay this upfront fee. They actually did some work with me as well. They actually linked my eBay account to a inventory management software called Linworks, and they then actually fulfilled all my orders. Now don't forget, there's always some form of teething problems when you start with new suppliers, new systems, but that's fine. That is what you do. You learn, you start growing, and then you earn, which is my actual motto. And this is then how relationships get formed. You can then actually use that as an example when you go to your next supplier and say, I have an existing relationship with XYZ. That's up to yourself if you want to mention them, but it shows that you've got proof. One of the solutions could be to start looking at doing some form of retail arbitrage, and that this actual inventory would be held from one specific location. Now this technically is retail arbitrage, where you actually own the product when you've made that purchase. It's now with you and you can actually send it out to the customers by yourself. Now, I would say this before you start. In any business, you always need to adapt. If you stay stationary and you don't constantly move with the times or with policy changes, then your business will either remain stagnant or it would be just a matter of time before your eBay business would no longer exist. Now, I've been using this system for a while and it literally works, but there is work involved. Now, you could actually speak to someone at eBay to see if you can get your actual listing allowance transferred over to this new account, but you would need to prove that you don't actually dropship anymore. Now, this could be done by one of two ways. You could actually show them that you have a wholesaler's agreement. Now, this could literally be by you talking to different wholesalers that would actually dropship on your behalf. Now, these do exist. You can actually find quality wholesalers that aren't the generic type when you just type in wholesalers in Google. Now, what I would do is I would type in wholesalers and then the category that you're wanting to sell in. Now, I would actually call these suppliers or even email them and let them know that you're actually looking to increase or widen your portfolio of products. Now, this already gives you some sense of authority and it shows that you're an established seller. I am telling you that a lot of wholesalers are really looking for people out there, and I've managed to find two myself. Now, for my subscribers, I am willing to give you the supplier's details if you comment below and tell me what your listing limit is on eBay. Now, here's one of the best bits. This company is based in the UK and they can actually export to the USA for you as well. Now, this second method is a slight twist on the dropshipping model. It's actually based or a slight twist on the dropshipping method. I would still list the items on eBay and I would still purchase the goods from a retailer. Except instead of sending the goods directly to the customer, I would actually send these to myself. I would then send the goods to the customer once I've received them. Again, you're thinking, this sounds like a lot of work. It is, but it can actually be quite rewarding because the more volume you actually send out, the lower rates that you could actually get in terms of your postage. But this also gives you an edge over your other competitors. You can actually start exporting to other countries as well, whereas before you were just limited to selling within the UK or within the US. And if eBay asks for any proof of inventory, you can just send them a picture of once your goods have actually been received and you have 10 to 20 to 30 or even hundreds of products to show them and say to them, this is all based in one location and that's with myself. Now, this takes around up to 6 months for you to start gaining momentum, especially when you start reducing the rates on your postal services. Now, what you can also do is you can actually mix it up a little. You could still create a new account and you could still dropship if you'd wanted, but please be aware that this is a risk. And you could still send some products to yourself and then send them out to your customers, so that if ever you were asked to show that proof that this inventory was actually owned by yourself, you could still do that. Now, I'd been asked on many occasions to show that I was actually the owner of those goods, and I used to show them stacks of envelopes, stacks of products, mail bags, all waiting at the door for the logistics company to come pick it up. And I would have myself in that picture as well, just to show them that it was actually me. Now, if this all sounds a bit too much for you, then don't worry. There are other actual avenues you can sell on, such as Amazon using their FBA system. Now, if you can't find deals or you can't find suppliers, then don't worry. You can actually use things like deal sheets. Now, this is where you get offered a minimum amount of deals a day with a minimum profit margin. So, for example, around £3 in the UK or around $4 in the US. Now, if this is of something of interest to you, then I have a deal for my subscribers with a nice healthy discount to get you started. So see the description down below. I've actually got a video as well of how to start a living selling on Amazon. And remember, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing.